The Liang Terrace by Li. Terrace and pool of the Prince of Liang stand up in mid-sky. Every night the Milky Way flies down into the water. In front of the terrace mortised jades shape interlocking dragons, and the powdered green bamboos sweep heaven grieving in the dew. He drank wine to the chime of bells and shot his arrows at heaven, in his furs braided with gold tigers and streaked with spurted blood. Morning after morning, evening after evening, he sighed when the seas turned round, and he tethered the sun on a long rope that youth might never pass. The clotted red of hibiscus blossoms changed to the tint of autumn. Faces of orchids, as spring departed, cried noiseless tears. Migrant geese in the reeds of the isles proclaimed that spring had come. In the slime of desolate moors, the floods of autumn whitened. Magic Strings by Li. The witch pours the libation, clouds fill the sky. In the flaming coals of the jade brazier, the fumes of incense throb. The god of the sea and the hill nymph take their places. Votive papers rustle in the howling whirlwind. On her inlaid lute of passion wood, a gold-leaf phoenix dances. With knitted brow at each muttered phrase, she plucks the strings once. She calls to the stars and summons the demons to taste of her dish and cup. Mankind shudders when the mountain goblins feed. The glow of the sun behind Chungnan hangs low in a trough of the hills. The gods are here, forever present between somewhere and nowhere. The gods scold, the gods are pleased, in spasms on the medium's face. Then the gods with a myriad outriders go back to the blue mountains. A Piece for Magic Strings, a Shamaness Exorcises Baleful Creatures, by Li. On the western hills the sun sets, the eastern hills darken. Horses blown by the whirlwind tread the clouds. From colored lute and plain pipes crowded faint notes. Her flowered skirt rustles as she steps in the autumn dust. When the wind brushes the cassia leaves and acacia seed drops, the blue raccoon weeps blood and the cold fox dies. Dragons painted on the ancient wall with tails of inlaid gold, the god of rain rides into the autumn pool. And the owl 100 years old, which changed to a goblin of the trees, hears the sound of laughter as green flames start up inside its nest. On and On Forever, by Li. The white glare recedes to the western hills. High in the distance sapphire blossoms rise. Where shall there be an end of old and new? 1,000 years have whirled away in the wind. The sands of the ocean change to stone. Fishes puff bubbles at the bridge of Chin. The empty shine streams on into the distance. The bronze pillars melt away with the years. On the Frontier, by Li. A Tartar horn tugs at the north wind. Thistle Gate shines whiter than the stream. The sky swallows the road to Kokonor. On the great wall, 1,000 miles of moonlight. The dew comes down, the banners drizzle. Cold bronze rings the watches of the night. The nomad's armor meshes serpent scales. Horses neigh, evergreen mounds champed white. In the still of autumn see the Pleiades. Far out on the sands, danger in the firs. North of their tents is surely the sky's end, where the sound of the river streams beyond the border. The Northern Cold, by Li. The sky glows one side black, 3 sides purple. The yellow river's ice closes. Fish and dragons die. Bark 3 inches thick cracks across the grain. Carts 100 picles heavy mount the river's water. Flowers of frost on the grass are as big as coins. Brandished swords will not pierce the foggy sky. Crashing ice flies in the swirling seas, and cascades hang noiseless in the mountains, rainbows of jade. An Arrowhead from the Ancient Battlefield of Chongping, by Li. Lacquer dust and powdered bone and red cinnabar grains. From the spurt of ancient blood, the bronze has flowered. White feathers and gilt shaft have melted away in the rain, leaving only this triple-cornered broken wolf's tooth. I was searching the plain, riding with 2 horses, in the stony fields east of the post station, on a bank where bamboos sprouted. After long winds and brief daylight, beneath the dreary stars, damped by a black flag of cloud which hung in the empty night. To left and right, in the air, in the earth, ghosts shrieked from wasted flesh. The curds drained from my upturned jar, mutton victuals were my sacrifice. Insects settled, the wild geese swooned, the buds were blight reddened on the reeds. The whirlwind was my escort, puffing sinister fires. In tears, seeker of ancient things, I picked up this broken barb, with snapped point and russet flaws, which once pierced through flesh. In the east quarter on South Street, a peddler on horseback talked me into bartering the metal for a votive basket. Sing Loud by Li Ho. The south wind's gust against the hill will make it flat land. By God's appointment, Tian Wu shifts the waters of the sea. When the Queen Mother's peach blossoms turn red the 1000th time, Grandfather Peng and Wizard Shen will have died how many deaths? By the dark hairs of the piebald horse, the dapple's edge meanders. Graceful spring's willows are closed in yellow mist. The lute girl coaxes me with the gold-handled cup. Before my blood and spirit fused, who was I? No sense in wildly drinking, Governor Ting. The time's best men don't stick to one master. When I buy silk, I shall have them embroider the Lord of Pingyuan. When I have wine, I shall pour libations only on the soil of Chao. The clock drips fast, and the water chokes the jade frog. The girl of ways tresses thin, she will not risk the comb. See how autumn eyebrows have changed to new green. Why all that thrusting and shoving when we were 20? Bring in the Wine by Li Ho. A glass goblet, deep-tinted amber. Crimson pearls drip from the wine cask. Boiling dragon and roasting phoenix weep jades of fat. Silken screens and embroidered curtains close in the scented breeze. Blow the dragon flute, beat the lizard skin drum. White teeth sing, slender waists dance. More than ever now, as the green spring nears its evening, and peach flowers scatter like crimson rain. Be advised by me, stay drunken all your life. Wine does not reach the earth on Lu Ling's grave. Autumn Comes by Li Ho. For base and noble the same end, when every ambition's won or lost, galloping waves urge on the endless night, falling dew hurries the brief dawn, quoted from Song of the Underworld by Pao Chao. The wind in the Wutung startles my heart, a lusty man despairs. Spinners in the fading lamplight cry chill silk. Who will study a bamboo book still green, and forbid the grubs to bore their powdery holes? This night's thoughts will surely stretch my guts straight. Cold in the rain, a sweet phantom comes to console the writer. By the autumn tombs, a ghost chants the poem of Pao Chao. My angry blood, for 1,000 years, will be emeralds under the earth. A Dream of Heaven by Li Ho. The old hare and the chilled frog weep the sky's sheen. Through a door ajar in a mansion of cloud, the rays slant white on the wall. The white jade wheel shivers the dew into wet globes of light. Chariot bells meet girdle pendants on cassia-scented paths. Yellow dust and clear water beneath the fairy mountains change places once in 1,000 years, which pass like galloping horses. When you peer at far-off China, 9 puffs of smoke, and the single pool of the ocean has drained into a cup. Up in Heaven by Li Ho. The river of heaven turns in the night and floats the stars round. A stream of cloud between silver shores mimics the sound of water. The cassia tree of the jade palace has never shed its flowers. A houri plucks their fragrance to hang at her jeweled sash. The Qin princess rolls back the blind. Day breaks at the north window. Before the window, the straight Wu Tung dwarfs the blue phoenix. The prince blows the long goose quills of the panpipes, calling to the dragon to plow the mist and plant the jasper herb. With ribbons of pale dawn cloud pink and lotus root fiber skirts, fairies walk on the azure isle, gathering orchids in the spring. They point at Shi-Ho in the eastern sky, who so deftly speeds his horses, while out of the sea the new land silts beneath the stony mountains. The Grave of Little Sue by Li Ho. I ride a coach with lacquered sides, my love rides a dark piebald horse. Where shall we bind our hearts as one? On West Mound, beneath the pines and cypresses. Quoted from a ballad ascribed to the singing girl Little Sue, circa 500 AD. Dew on the secret orchid like crying eyes. No thing to bind the heart to. Misted flowers I cannot bear to cut. Grass like a cushion, the pine like a parasol. The wind is a skirt, the waters are tinkling pendants. A coach with lacquered sides waits for someone in the evening. Cold blue candle flames strain to shine bright. Beneath West Mound, the wind puffs the rain. From Criticisms, 3rd of 5, by Li Ho. The southern hills, how mournful! A ghostly rain sprinkles the empty grass. In Chang'an, on an autumn midnight, how many men grow old before the wind? Dim, dim, the path in the twilight. Branches curl on the black oaks by the road. The trees cast upright shadows, and the moon at the zenith covers the hills with a white dawn. Darkened torches welcome a new kinsman. In the most secret tomb these fireflies swarm. A Girl Combs Her Hair by Li Ho. She dreams at dawn, in the cool of silk curtains. A dress has slipped from the scented knot over the fading rouge. The pulley creaks at the well, winds up with a jade tinkle, and startles awake this lotus which has just slept its fill. Two birds on the flaps disclose the mirror, an autumn sunlit pool. She loosens the knots and looks down in the mirror as she stands on the ivory bed. The chignon's perfumed threads spread cloudy on the floor. Where the jade comb falls, luster and no sound. Slender fingers coil back the rooky sheen with a glint of blue too sleek to lodge the hairpin. Casual spring breezes vex her languid grace. After 18 tiresome knots, all force spent. Her toilet done, the dressed hair slants and does not sag. She measures her steps in the cloudy skirt as a goose walks on sand. Turns away, still without speaking. What has caught her eye? She goes down the steps and picks the cherry flowers. The Watchman's Drum in the Streets of Officials by Li Ho. The sound of its thump at dawn hurries the circling sun. The sound at eves hurries the moonrise. The willows of the Han capital shine yellow on the new blinds. Flying swallows' scented bones lie buried in the cypress mound. It is pounded to pieces 1,000 years of suns forever white, unheard by the king of Qin and Emperor Wu. Your hair glints blue. It is the color of the blossoms on the reeds. Try if you can to stand fast in China alone beside South Mountain. Through how many funerals of the blessed in heaven, the clock's drip-drip sounds on without a pause. Don't Go Out of the Door by Li Ho. Heaven is inscrutable, earth keeps its secrets. The 9-headed monster eats our souls, frost and snows snap our bones. Dogs are set on us, snarl and sniff around us, and lick their paws partial to the orchid girdled, till the end of all afflictions when God sends us his chariot, and the sword starred with jewels and the yoke of yellow gold. I straddle my horse, but there is no way back. On the lake which swamped Liang, the waves are huge as mountains. Deadly dragons stare at me, jostle the rings on the bridle. Lions and chimeras spit from slavering mouths. Pao Chao slept all his life in the powdered ferns. Yin Hui before 30 was flecked at the temples. Not that Yin Hui had weak blood, nor that Pao Chao had offended heaven. Heaven dreaded the time when teeth would close and rend them. For this and this cause only made it so. Plain though it is, I fear that you doubt me. Witness the man who raved at the wall as he wrote his questions to heaven. Musing, 1st of 2, by Li Ho. Shu Ma Xiangju pondered leafy mound, where the green grasses drooped by the stone well, plucked his lute and gazed at Wen Chun, and the spring breeze in her hair blew shadows on her temples. The Prince of Liang, the Emperor Wu, had cast him off like a snapped stalk. His only memorial, one riding on bamboo, to be sealed in gold on the summit of Mount Tai.